The Rimworlds are harsh and unforgiving places, full of danger and excitement. For 4-year-old female red fox Lottie, this is pretty much par for the course. A pampered and disinterested young woman, she's been with Gray for most of her life. Gray Lufthausen, a 425-year-old android, it's his birthday today, developed as a commission for a wealthy patron, but he has long since outlived them. He has spent most of his lifetime wandering the world, until about 3 months ago he discovered something quite interesting. The brain was found by Gray inside of a cold, crypt-like structure underground. It's taken him these 3 months to drag them this far, and at the unfortunate cost of supplies and severe rusting. Whilst the brain lacks conventional means of communication, it does have the ability to whisper into Gray's mind. Thus far, Lottie seems to either be incapable of understanding the brain, or simply doesn't care. The day begins as Gray establishes a basic campsite, beginning with a dumping zone for the initial materials scattered around the area. Rimworlds are frequently littered with steel and even compacted machinery, owing to a long history of strife and struggle. Once enough materials have been gathered, the brain is enclosed and kept safe from the elements. The brain hints at something behind the wall of the hill, but dismisses the notion of sending Gray to investigate just yet. These frequent ancient dangers are often buried for good reason. With a basic construction established, it's now a race against time to keep Gray powered, as food is scarce and his battery will lose charge in a couple of days at most, even if he can process biological fuel for some degree of nourishment. A wind turbine is enough to keep his charging pod running, but not very reliably. Some quick research on batteries and the addition of a wood-fired generator should keep him running for quite some time. And with power secured for the time being, Gray decides to research basic robotics next, with an eye towards fabrication in the future. With Gray's needs met and the brain mostly self-sufficient, it's time for an early little bit of a potato farm and a basic kitchen to feed Lottie. Kibble on the menu tonight. Seemingly out of nowhere, as it frequently is, a local rat has been driven to insanity. Exactly what causes these behaviors on Rimworlds is as yet unknown, but the rat steadily makes its way towards the campsite. Gray makes sure Lottie is inside and bars the front door. Fortunately for him, a chain shotgun works about as well as you would expect against a single rat, which is then quickly converted into food for Lottie and put into storage. Now that the storage room has to handle food, it also needs temperature control before the supplies begin to rot away. The brain prefers a warm and damp environment, so it's time to board it away behind a wall. This isn't exactly its ideal of living conditions, but it's the best Gray can manage for now. It's a long, rainy night, and Lottie enjoys a well-earned rest at the foot of Gray's charging pod. Gray spends most of the next day researching in his very modest lab, so Lottie begins to explore her new den. Gray breaks from his diligent study to pursue some light recreational activity, though Lottie isn't usually very much for chess, so it remains to be seen exactly who he's playing against. The relative peace of the settlement is broken by an electrical short, discharging the battery and almost damaging the brain. With the battery drained, the wind turbine struggles to power even this meager electrical grid, so the generator picks up the slack. This was the brain's design. And the brain has some grand visions for this colony, and that means that Lottie unfortunately can't be allowed to venture out quite too far. Moreover, it convenes with Gray to establish some basic management of the local wildlife. and as this day finally winds down, there's a bustle of activity in the area, and a whole lot more to come. Come now, dear viewer, tell me your wish. Is it for money? Maybe for power? Or perhaps you hope for simpler things like bonus content and exclusive streams with your favorite content creator? Really? That last one, huh? Well, that's easy, just head over to patreon.com/lying. Oh, I kinda expected more.